I'm Chris Lawrence with your top stories in North Texas. FBI agents are digging through the yard outside the home where Noel Rodriguez Alvarez and his family once lived. Brittany Costello explains what we know so far.
Tents and tarps are moving as investigators dig up dirt in the backyard of a home on Wisteria Drive in Everman. FBI agents are looking for 6-year-old Noel Rodriguez Alvarez more than 3 years after he was reported missing. Attorney and former prosecutor Jennifer Falk is certain there's a reason investigators returned to the property his family used to live.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. All of my spidey senses say, yes, there is something. That's why they're digging.
That's what Amber Duffins thinks too.
They blocked out our windows so we won't be able to look out in the back.
Duffins lives at the property now and says investigators have been back on other occasions leading up to this search.
Of course, we will want them to find what they need to find, so we wouldn't stop them from looking.
Noel was last seen in October of 2022. Investigators believe the special needs boy is dead. His mother, Cindy Rodriguez Singh, fled to India with her other children and husband. She is now charged with capital murder. Last month, she was found incompetent to stand trial.
Having any murder case, but especially a capital murder case where no body has been recovered, is a rarity across the nation.
Former Dallas Police Commander Sally Lannon says these types of searches are intensive.
You're looking for a child, which means the evidence can be smaller. So you have to be more meticulous and more detailed in how you search for that child.
Many people in Everman are hoping for closure.
Part of me doesn't want a baby to be back there, and part of me does, just so he can have the closure and everybody who's been following this case since it first happened.
In Everman, I'm Brittany Costello.
The Johnson County Sheriff's Department has terminated a chief deputy who no longer has his badge and gun. Scoop Jefferson spoke with his attorney, who says it's connected to the criminal investigation in civil cases against Sheriff Adam King.
This is the letter the sheriff sent his chief this week explaining why he's firing him. The two scheduled to battle it out in court here in Johnson County in just a few days.
James Salter just lost his job as chief deputy at the Johnson County Sheriff's Office. His attorney Christopher Cook sharing the emotional impact.
I think he is more worried at this point about how he's going to put food on the table for his family.
Cook received this termination letter from Sheriff Adam King on May 12, saying Salter failed to show up for a required internal affairs interview scheduled for 10 a.m. on May 12.
What the public doesn't know is that the internal affairs investigation was being run by a friend of the sheriff, someone who he has on his defense team in his criminal case.
James Salter is scheduled to testify against the sheriff, indicted on 2 felony counts of retaliation against a witness, abuse of office related to sexual harassment claims, misdemeanors. WFAA reached out repeatedly to Sheriff King and his attorney Bill Mason, but no response. After a hearing this past March, Mason said this defending his client.
I've known Adam King since the 1990s.
Right now, King is working a court-ordered hybrid schedule, still in charge at the sheriff's office.
He's been allowed to be around his victims.
Cook says Salter turned in his department-issued property,
His gun, his badge,
and hopes to land another job as they prepare to face the sheriff in court later this month. In Johnson County, I'm Scoop Jefferson.
We now know where the Texas Stock Exchange plans to set up operations in the Uptown area of Dallas. According to our partners at the Dallas Business Journal, it'll move into the Bank of America Parkside Tower when renovations are complete. The building will feature a live stock ticker when trading launches in July. It's just one part of the larger Y'all Street movement in North Texas. We're about a month out from the start of the World Cup, and even soccer superfans think ticket prices are way too high. Some buyers told Cole Sullivan FIFA failed to deliver what they expected.
In every game played at AT&T Stadium, there are winners and losers. But the World Cup hasn't even started, and Dennis McGowan already feels like the latter.
I feel like we got scammed.
The FC Dallas fan paid as part of a FIFA lottery, $350 a pop for Tier 2 seats, billed as the second best set in the house. But the tickets he got are in Section 408.
Really, essentially, watch it on the big screen at Jerry World Tickets.
Then there's the cost. Many tickets in Dallas are now going for over $1,000.
It's disheartening. Soccer is about the fans.
And even super fans, like this England supporter who's been to 9 World Cups, say the prices are astronomical.
Well, this year compared with all others is just crazy. The ticket price here this tournament is it's beyond belief.
Andy Milne told us he sold an investment property, a house, to pay his way to the game here.
And good on him for that, but it's just not everybody has that available, right?
The outrage has reached Washington. 2 congressmen now demand FIFA's president account for dynamic pricing ripoffs and misleading seat maps. In a statement, FIFA reminds us it offered some early match tickets for $60, quote, a very competitive price point for a major global sporting event in the U.S. And it says seat maps, quote, were designed to provide guidance rather than exact seat layout.
And we're at the point where we're running out of fans that are able to access us.
He's worried an event meant to bring the world together, only a few can afford to see. In Dallas, I'm Cole Sullivan.
A mother ended up fighting for her life and her newborn rushed into intensive care on what should have been a cause for celebration. Kevin Reese says their emotional story of sacrifice and faith.
We will start with the photograph.
It was a very challenging day for me.
Of a tiny newborn hand.
You wouldn't believe it, man.
The boy, the Solano family from Louisville, had not yet given a name.
It was, it was very, very scary.
Because Michael Solano's son was rushed to neonatal intensive care, and his wife, Melissa,
laying on the operating table, dying. The only thing I could start doing was praying.
Prayers that apparently worked.
I don't remember being scared or worried.
Melissa made it, although when it came to her son,
I do remember thinking that this might be it.
There were doubts.
And for some reason I thought him and I were going to go together, but I felt at peace with that.
And at true peace now, because Max made it too.
Thank God that our prayers were answered.
But their miracle is not that simple. Max was born with a liver disease, gall, gestational autoimmune liver disease. It is usually fatal. A transplant, his only hope. But it had never been done on someone so young and so small.
It's an unusual disease that someone gets, and then it's also unusual to have patients be stable enough that you can take care of them and transplant them.
But at Texas Children's in Houston, that's what they did on his 31st day of life, giving Max the liver of another 8-month-old child, whose family in their own time of crisis made that difficult choice.
Especially as a brand new mom, that's really, really hard to hear because you know that means tragedy on the other end. I couldn't pray for tragedy for someone else. So I just kept praying that God would save our baby.
The Solanos have written a letter to that family. They hope to meet them someday. Show them.
It's amazing to just see him smile.
The miracle, their gift made possible.
He's a very happy baby despite everything he's been through, and he's just such a blessing in our lives.
Now home and healthy.
This is his whole team. They all signed it.
Max has the liver pillow the medical team also gave him.
Italy, Spain.
A map where people worldwide prayed for his recovery.
And it kind of makes the world seem so much smaller.
And the story of how he got his name.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
His dad loves the Gladiator movie. And then there was the eye protection for that bilirubin therapy in the hospital.
And on the very front of that, really big, it said Max. And she's like,
it's a sign.
So this survivor with a doting grandmother, too, is Maximo Roman Solano.
A strong name for a strong boy. See, I'm a very strong boy.
Very strong.
The strongest boy you ever know. So
a strong boy alive because of a donation from an equally strong donor family.
We thank God for the donor and their family every single day. Organ donation saves lives. Oh, no.
Another laugh from Maximo is all the proof you need of that.
And we're just so thankful every day.
In Dallas, I'm Kevin Reese.
Yeah, being an organ donor can be such an incredible blessing. And those are your headlines from North Texas.